The time of year for mentorship is coming in. Our new mentorship class will be beginning Friday, August the 16th for Level 1 students. Level 2 students, Friday, August the 23rd. And our continuing mentorship students will begin Saturday, August 4th. And we have a very special announcement. For those of you who would like to purchase the mentorship and the live event coming in October, we have a Together special where you will save $500 when you buy both of them. We have payment plans available also. You will be getting, as usual with our mentorship class, 8 hours of group teachings. That's 4 2-hour classes you meet every other week. You will also have 2 private sessions with me. For those that are in the level 1, we'll have 2 half-hour sessions with me. Those in the level 2 will have 2 45, and anybody in the ongoing mentorship will have 2 1-hour sessions with me. You can save these sessions, they're good for life, or you can use them during the mentorship journey. You will be able to come and share that community journey by coming to the event, having that community journey with the mentorship people, and I look forward to seeing you at the live mentorship at the event coming in October. Thanks, everybody. Welcome, everyone, to another adventure into reality. I am your host, Andrew Bartzis, the Galactic historian. I am joined by my intrepid friend, David Ellis. Welcome to the show, David. How's it going today?
Oh, it's going pretty good. I was actually tired earlier on today, but I have gotten my second wind.
Well, everyone, this is an open call-in show. David and I will put you under the roasting lamp, tear you up and put you back together, help you with whatever's going on. Just to let everyone know, we have our mentorship package in the QR code in the top left corner over there. And you can also combine the mentorship package with our live event that's coming up in October. For those of you who want to have a community and get that mentorship journey going, this is the package for you. With that, we're going to open up the callers. Joel, let's spin up the wheel of callers and see what the universe presents us today.
All righty. Teresa, you are on the air.
Teresa, are you there? Hi, where are you calling from? Where are you? Okay, your connection's not very good. Why don't you turn off your video?
All right. Can you hear me
No,
better?
your connection's really, really bad. Turn off your video.
Did that?
No, it's just it's still really bad. Are you on your Wi-Fi connection or on your mobile data?
Probably on my mobile data. And let me maybe.
Yeah, it's really the signal connection is really bad.
You know,
No, it's not.
Um,
Oop, and lost her. All right, Joel. Let's. Is anybody else in the waiting room?
Alrighty, let's bring Marie in.
Marie, are you there? Marie, are you there?
Oops, I had myself muted. Can you hear me
It's
now?
okay, Marie. Where are you calling from today?
Southern California.
Welcome to the show. What do you want to talk about today? You got me and David here to help you out.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I'd like to talk about the path going forward in
Okay.
my life. And basically, it seems to me like one of the biggest things holding me back is the sort of energetic relationship with my mother.
Uh huh.
And so I kind of was wondering if we could go into that a little bit and
Sure.
kind of how to reverse the damage from that or like prevent, whatever, that kind of thing.
Okay. Well, tell us what's going on with your mother and then a little bit about yourself so we can tune in.
Yeah. Okay. So I think it basically started, you talk about the fetus in the womb thing.
Uh huh.
And I do think it started there because I actually remember that. And so basically, it was like I decided that it was better for me to kind of, um, how I can describe it is sort of like energetically invade her and kind of step on her journey. Or maybe we agreed to do this, I don't know. But there was some sort of like invasion type of thing that I did to her to try and get my environment of the development of my body to not be a soup of you know emotional toxicity basically.
Uh huh.
um, so I think it started then. And
Okay.
you
So,
know
real quick,
yeah.
to replace the word invasion, that's just something your human mind is trying to attach to. When a
Okay.
child comes into a mother, all of that's agreed to ahead of time. The thing is, sometimes shit goes wrong in real life. So, were you born into a toxic environment?
um Not necessarily toxic environment, but my mom had trauma when she was younger, and I think
Okay.
that kind of was the start of her issues and like um,
Okay.
maybe a lack of personality development for her. Um, so
Okay.
that made her hard. It made it hard for her to handle life.
Okay. And so,
Yeah,
what did the traumas create in you, and how is it affecting you now?
yeah. Um, so I think part of it was I wanted a functional mother, and so I kind of tried to save her.
Uh huh.
Um, And I've realized now that that was a huge error.
You martyred yourself for somebody
I
else.
I really did, and it was out of pride and vanity, I know,
Okay.
probably.
And a state of love too. A lot of times, that's what drives pride and vanity, is a subsection of love.
Okay. Yeah, so like what could I have done better?
Nothing in the past. It's
Okay.
about what you can do now.
Okay.
The traumas are the traumas. They're not going to change until your perspective about them can change, and which you can learn from them and flip the frequency where they're no longer a draining source, but a source of ending the trauma so new things can take its place.
Yeah, and I feel like I really did learn a lot, and part of my like a big part of me and what I'm into here on earth this time is healing and how we can
Okay.
heal individually and collectively. And
Okay.
so she was a huge, huge teacher.
Sure.
She gave me a lot of good material. and
And
and I'm
I've got the same thing from my family. They have with all of their good, their bad, their shortcomings, they were incredible teachers for me too. So
okay,
what
yeah.
type of healing work do you do?
Well, I'm working on it. I'm working on synergizing all kinds of things. So, like, my
Yeah.
biggest passion is homeopathy, but I'm starting school to go into integrative health, and then I plan to be an acupuncturist, so Chinese medicine.
Uh-huh.
Um,
So
I
planning, and when
do.
would you have you actually started the school or signed up for it yet?
I'm in the process of enrollment. I just have financial aid, and then it starts in September.
Okay, so you really shortly you'll be starting the grander journey.
Yes. Yes. And so I want to put this past journey to rest so that I
Ah,
can go forward with no hangups.
I think the first thing you have to look at the victory journey of where you got to right now.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Your mother is no longer dominating your life and you're no longer martyring yourself for her. That's a victory. Okay?
Exactly.
You're
Hmm.
on the path to your greater journey. That's a victory. And you got to start marking these victories that have gotten you here so that you go in with to the acupuncture school with a victorious energy promoting you into the challenges which will be the next part of the journey.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay? And it's important that you write them down and actually do a ceremony of victories where you call out the victories out loud and enjoy those victories, revel in them, and understand this is your victory ceremony where all the older selves have to hear it's over, bitch. Okay?
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
Totally. Yeah.
David, is there something you'd like to add?
Oh, there's something I would like to ask.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to ask you a very surgical question. What parts of your mother are still in you?
That's a really interesting question. And thank you for asking. I struggle with that myself. This is like the whole energetic shamanic kind of stuff that I'm struggling with. Um, I'm not sure what's her and what's me, honestly, because
Mm,
it's gotten so muddled.
okay.
So yeah, and I'm working on recognizing the profiles of energy, of like, okay, this is me, like, and this is her, and then this is, I also have stuff with the family that's on the same property as my mother and myself. And so I'm learning to recognize the different energetic profiles and to get more sensitive to that, and to be able to, I'm trying to teach myself to let go and not get entangled. But like Andrew said, I think I have to um, put that behind me a little bit more.
Well, part of the
Okay.
victories is the separation of that, is the beginning of how you separate. Go ahead, David.
Okay.
My second question is, I'm going to break this down into various little profiles, and then you can answer yes or no. Is that better?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. The brain fog that you have right now, you have brain fog going on, don't you? The
Yep.
traffic, the traffic jam in your head, that brain fog thing that stops you from enunciating clearly, is that you or is that your mother?
It's probably my mother.
Okay. The confidence issue that you have going on, is that you or is that your mother?
I think that's my mother.
Ah, okay. All right. The inability to concentrate and focus on on one chosen goal, is that you or is that your mother?
I think that's my mother.
Okay, right. So the way forward is to probably acknowledge those things, all right?
Right?
Start passing them out, right?
Wetting them out?
Taking them out, separating them from the part that's you. So I'm going to ask you a few
Yes.
questions. You want to be the healer. Is that you or your mother?
Oh, that's me.
Okay. Do you realize to be a healer, you might want to get rid of those things? Yes or no?
Oh, for sure. That is exactly it. That's why I'm calling.
Okay. And so when was the last time you spoke to your mother?
Yesterday, I think.
Oh,
Yeah,
what did you
yesterday.
speak about?
What?
What did you all speak about?
Um, Practicalities of life, like grocery shopping.
Oh, okay. So, may I make a few suggestions?
Yes.
Okay, first of all, I would suggest you take a book, write down the parts of you that are not you,
Yeah.
because you have inherited some of the traits you have.
Yeah.
And the traits that you've inherited can be a stumbling block.
For
Okay.
sure.
And then you make proactive steps to start removing those traits. So for the brain fog and the lack of confidence, I suggest that you sit down and well, get inside yourself, right? And set a plan, because you have a plan, but it's kind of like a no plan, which is okay when you're coming on a podcast like this. But you're like homeopathy, but you want to become an acupuncturist, and then what? And then you're going to
No,
go.
it's a synergy. All it's multi-modality healing and multi-level healing, and it's taken me this long to get the components together. But it's homeopathy, it's acupuncture, it's communication, it's relationships, attachment styles, spirituality, etc.
Okay, healer, physician, heal thyself. Let me ask you a
Yeah,
question. Do you think do you think that you might want to practice and be your first client?
yeah, but that's been my whole life, David, and then my mom too. I consciously did take that physician heal thyself from when I was a teenager
Hmm. Okay,
and applied it as best I could to my life. That's what's gotten me here.
good. That's very, very good. My next question is a surgical question again. The synergy that you're creating is your creation, correct?
Absolutely.
It is completely your creation.
Definitely.
Okay. So the synergy that you're creating is designed to help yourself as well, correct?
Yep.
Okay. I would suggest, once again, that you dispel from trying to heal your mother in every way, because I sense in you a
For sure.
desire to heal her still.
Okay.
I
Darn
said,
it.
yeah, remember, you're looking forward, not back.
Yes.
So you're looking forward, not back. And so I think a certain amount of energetic distance is required if you're going to detach from certain kinds of energies.
Thank you. I
Mhm.
think the same thing. Are we talking about physical separation?
Well, it might come to that. It depends on how bad this attachment that you have is. Because there's a healer part of you that wants to heal your mother. You absolutely do. But that would be looking backwards while you're trying to move forward. Yeah. Or shall I put it in a nice way? It's kind of like I keep using this analogy, peeing with a condom on.
Totally. Totally. It's a complete utter mess.
Yeah.
And it's polluting the path forward, and I know that. And
Okay.
the other day, like the closest I could get to like why I still might be doing it is because like maybe my inner child is just scared that I can't live without her somehow or something, you know?
Well, you're
Mhm.
here on this podcast and you're speaking your truth, and you're talking to people, which I'm sure your mother would probably disapprove of. So I think you can do it. You know what I mean? I think you are your own person.
Yeah, totally. Thank you for your vote of confidence.
Yeah, totally
I
welcome.
want to add. I want to add something here.
Go for it.
So I've now heard you use the word synergy 3 times, each with a more empowering, emboldening enunciation of it.
Yay.
Did you realize that?
No.
You have put a myth behind that word.
Okay. Is
Let's
that a good or
explore
bad
that.
thing?
Let's explore it.
Okay.
Why that word?
Um, well, I took yoga teacher training when I was a teenager or young adult, and
Mhm,
they made a big deal about that.
mhm.
It also was kind of part of my growing up. Um,
The
I
past.
get, yeah, I don't know. Is that good enough answer? You want
Yeah,
more?
that's a good enough. So that's the past.
Yeah.
Very much influencing who you are now.
Mm,
Moving forward, stop using that word. Make a new word,
interesting.
because there's a myth and a lot of subconscious.
Crap.
processes attached, crap attached to it too. Yes.
Okay, what
Synergy
about?
means you could heal your mom too.
Oh, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
Okay, that's helpful.
Words and our subconscious myths behind them are very, very important. And for everyone else out there, pay attention to yourself, how you use and reuse words. It's where you can tell some of the unique subconscious things that we have. Okay. So you said you took yoga teacher training. Do you do yoga training now?
Um, no, that was hatha yoga, but I grew up being taught Raja yoga,
Okay.
which is like the science of union with God, basically. It's
I'm sorry. Are you part of the Brahma Kumaris?
no, I'm part of Self-Realization Fellowship, Church of
Ah,
All Religions.
Yogananda.
Yes.
You are a student of Yogananda. I think I get it now. So I'm going to speak to you in ways that you will be able to understand. I
Okay,
assume you read Autobiography of a Yogi.
of course.
Okay, you know he had to detach from his mentors and teachers that were like family to him, right?
Yeah.
Okay, there is a lesson to be learned there. There is a lesson.
Yes.
There is a lesson to be learned there, and the lesson is you gotta sometimes the things that you hold on to are the things that will stunt your growth. You have hopes of changing your mother. You have hopes of building something of your own. You don't exactly know what it is yet, but it's in the birthing process. Okay? My suggestion would be that for right now, in the short interim, you create some physical and mental distance away from that situation, because what is happening to you right now is that you have 1 foot off the cliff and 1 foot on the cliff, and you're thinking, should I jump off or not?
You mean the cliff is the positive future, or the cliff is the bad past?
Well, the cliff is a cliff. That's what it is. There may be water there, there may be rocks there, but the only way you're going to find out whether you can fly is to jump out of the nest.
Totally. Totally. And that's been like a main focus for a long time now. So I'm disappointed to hear you say that I still have it in me to want to heal my mother. But I acknowledge that there's some truth in that.
Let me ask you a question. Do you love your mother?
I do, but I can't
With
save
doubt.
her.
What you do with doubt in your voice.
Yeah, because I don't want to focus on that anymore.
Oh, you don't want to focus on loving your mother? Let me ask you a question. What is the background that you grew up in? I want to know.
What
Was your mother spiritual? Was she religious? What was the situation?
Yeah, my parents were in SRF. That's yeah.
Explain that.
Well, I grew up in Self-Realization Fellowship Church. Both of my parents had read the Autobiography of a Yogi and were into that. I feel like I was really fortunate to have had that. It was a hugely positive influence on me. Now though, I wonder if okay, so there's a dynamic with my mom that this is reminding me of, where it's like anything that I'm super into, when I'm like wearing her energy or she's wearing my energy or whatever, you know what I mean by that, exchanging energies.
Yes.
It's like she picks up my interest because she's wearing my energy, and then she thinks it's hers. And then she tries to reintroduce it back to me like I didn't know it in the first place.
Can I just say something to you?
Yeah, and it's basically like a mind fuck. Energy fuck.
No, it's spiritual gaslighting. So let me ask you, you're talking to somebody who grew up in that paradigm, okay?
Spiritual paradigm.
Yes, the same spiritual paradigm you grew up in, I grew up in. Okay?
Right. Gotcha.
So I'm going to give you the advice that I'm going to tell you. Some of the advice with regard to me, I had to shed some things because the spiritual paradigm you grew up in, Self-Realization Fellowship, has become a religion. It has.
Yep.
Families get into it. Okay. It's become a religion, and they have their own dogma and their own tenets and so on. But the book that you were reading, Autobiography of a Yogi, Paramahansa Yogananda says specifically that he had to detach from the things that he knew to become self-realized. It's in the name, it's right there in the name. It's self-realized, right?
Yeah, which is interesting because I'm playing with that question too. Like, is SRF for me going forward or not? And the thing is, she's kind of gone into it more, whereas before she totally dropped it and felt like she didn't want to do it. And lately she's gotten more into it. Me, like, I remember being in this, like, even the time before this incarnation. And so you can't say that she was there first. you know and I thought I had something going forward with that I could do, but maybe, I mean, it's kind of like that area has been invaded, and usually whatever area is invaded by her, I have to just let go of, because she comes in, she takes it over, and she just kind of like pees over everything, and it becomes polluted. And
All the
yes,
more
that is
reason to
the
detach.
and yes,
All
that
the
is
more
the
reason
second
to detach.
and yes,
Caller,
that is the second time I said invade.
Yep.
caller, what is your name?
Me?
Yes,
Tamari?
Tamari. The umbilical cord from your mother and the energy exchanges that y'all are having needs to be severed.
Yeah.
Y'all are exchanging masks, y'all are exchanging interest, and I have no idea what is going on there between y'all, but y'all need to sever, because what is happening on your side is happening on her side if she's taking on your interest. Y'all
Yeah,
are
and it's like
in a
she's taking on my whole
bisymmetrical
life
feeding
because she doesn't
relationship.
have one.
Y'all are in a bisymmetrical feeding relationship, and it's energetic. And yeah, you need to. I'm gonna say this again. I'm not even. Forget about the word detached. You are going to need to separate your energy from your mother, because what is happening is that you are not fully realizing yourself, right?
Exactly. Totally agree.
I want to add a metaphor here. Your
Go.
mother sees you like an amoeba in separation. You are not her child. You are her separated amoeba. Just process that a second. She is manipulatively, vicariously living through you because she has no life.
Exactly, Andrew. Exactly.
Okay?
Thank you.
All the more reason to detach.
Yes.
Okay?
Help.
Do you have
How do I
enough of
do
your own living skill? Do you have enough of your own living skills and
that?
finances to move out on your own?
That's what the college stuff is working towards. It's basically the weak link is finances for me.
Okay?
Mhm.
How challenging are finances right now?
Very challenging.
Okay? Do you have any kind of income that can come in?
Very little. $100 a month.
What are you getting your $100 a month from?
Health coaching. My mother.
Oh my! Oh my!
Oh my!
Oh my! Okay, so here are a few things that I would suggest straight off the bat. What kind of free time do you have? Are you in school? Like, what is
Not
your
yet.
schedule?
September,
So
I'm in school. I have free
you
time now.
you have free time. Is it possible for you to get some other form of employment at all?
Well, I live way out in the boonies and I don't have transportation, so it's difficult. That's
Oh,
why I'm trying to get something going online where I'm showing up more online, so I can actually take clients. Um, and so that's basically the angle that I'm working to try to move forward with my independence.
Where are
okay.
you living? What state and where are you at right now? What area?
Southern
Where you at?
California?
Okay, and you're out in the boonies in Southern California.
Yep.
Where in Southern California?
The mountains above Escondido.
Okay, you're way out there.
Yeah.
And what's the
I'm
closest
lucky I have internet and phone. You know, I
okay,
don't yeah.
what's the closest city you get that's near you?
Either Valley Center or Escondido.
And they're what, a 45-minute drive?
No less than that. Maybe like 30 minutes.
Okay.
25, 30, 20, 30,
And
something like that.
what are apartment rentals there like?
Uh um you can barely find anything for under $1,000, but I
Yeah.
have been looking.
And you're going to go to I take it, where you going to go to acupuncture school? Where's that?
Well, first I'm going to integrative health sciences. I have to get a 2-year AA before I can get into acupuncture school. The acupuncture school is in LA, but the integrative degree is online.
Wow, that's really weird. They offer full 2-year degrees of acupuncture with no integrative thing everywhere else in the country. And that's a 4-year class you do in 2 years.
What? Because I've
Yeah.
researched and I didn't find that.
Yeah, here, I'll look it up real quick.
Oh,
David,
good.
go ahead and ask her some more questions about mom and moving out or
Okay,
whatever you
so
got.
what's the relationship between you and your mom like right now?
It's good. It's fine. And I've been telling her, you know, I've been telling her that I need to not do stuff with her, and I need to separate, and I need to detach, and I need
What
to
is
put
her
all this
reaction
behind
to
me.
that?
Huh?
What is her reaction to when you say that?
Um, she's basically fine with it. A lot of times I just write her notes. We write notes back and forth, day to day, because that gives me more separation. Was one of the reasons. But so I've written her stuff, and she, you know, she sometimes she has a hard time with some of it, because it sounds like maybe I'm blaming her or something. But she's trying to work on it from her side, is what she says.
Uh-huh. What does that mean?
Um, well, I mean, the one good thing about her is she does have some friends that are, you know, into consciousness and spirituality and stuff. And I think, and one of them is really, really um, good. And I think they're helping her. And I don't know. I don't know
So
what else to
you
say.
actually don't need to help her. You notice that this,
Yes.
and here's the other question I want to ask you. Your dad, let's talk about that.
Passed away in 2012.
Okay.
I
And
think
what
she
was
did the same thing to him, though. I think she kind of was a black hole to him, and that's kind of why he had to leave.
he left her?
No, he passed away.
Okay. So my question is to you, not having all those facts on board, you think you need to leave because yeah, this is sounding a little bit cultish, a little bit. You know what I mean? Like
Um,
this is sounding like energetic direction, right? And so if you
wait, I'm
leave,
not totally clear what you mean by that. Can you say
if
more?
let me ask you a question. If you leave, who will be around your mother right now?
The rest of the family.
So you live in a close family unit. So how many?
Well, I live on the same property. I can't stand being close to them though, so I have my own little area of the property.
I see. How many members of your family live on that property?
8.
And tell me who the eight are. Uncles, brothers.
Yeah. No, I don't have any siblings, but basically, m- my dad's sister's husband and kids, family. So like my cousins basically, and my uncle and my mother.
Okay, so the closest family member that your mother has on that property is you, correct?
Yeah.
Do you think that is important?
In what way?
Well, obviously, you, I think to a certain extent, your mother's living vicariously through you.
Yep. Totally agree.
And so when that energy goes away, what is she going to do with herself?
Well, I've sort of tried to train her, like if like stop interacting with me energetically, connect with somebody else if you need to. Like don't
Mm.
connect to me.
You are asking somebody whose body you're dragged out of to, who has been living vicariously through you, to stop the energy tap. Do you see how that might be slightly problematic in her
Totally.
paradigm? Let me
Yeah.
ask you another question. Have you actually traveled away from the property for a long period of time?
Yes.
How
Five
long?
5 months in 2022 I went to Sedona.
You went to Sedona in 5 months. So how did you feel?
Um, it was good, but the relationship wasn't meant to be long term. I grew a lot, but it totally wore me out at the same time because I was doing a 46-day fast on fruit juice and herbs and learning martial arts and being in a new relationship and
Okay,
a
let me
new
see if I get this
community.
straight. You were learning martial arts while you were fasting.
I know. Yes. I wasn't
Okay,
a very good
please
student
explain
because
it
I
to me.
had very little energy.
Okay, you're not talking, just so that we're clear, Tamari, you're not talking. Andrew and I have a vast array of experience in different things.
Yeah, I'm not talking your level. I'm talking very, very beginner and like just not even really. Yeah.
So explain to me the premise of this retreat that you went on
No, it was more like a dating relationship.
that involved fasting and learning martial arts at the same time.
Yeah, because that's what he was into.
Okay, so you were following what he was doing?
Yep.
Okay. So you were not realizing yourself then?
Well, it was a way, David, to break up from being here at the property and to
Ah,
try and move forward with
ah,
my life,
I
to try
see.
and be around new people. And I totally stopped talking to her completely until I started having problems with the whole relationship. And then I needed some support. And so I went back to that. And then I also needed a place to rest because I was so burnt out. And so I came back to the property. But yeah. I think
Understood.
it did switch my life track though, because I feel like it got me out of the energetic martyrdom to my family, by going there and doing that. But I need to get out again,
Okay.
probably.
Okay. So my question, so I suppose you're gonna have to learn to move out on your own with a little bit clearer head the next time, because it
Um,
has to happen,
yeah,
you know.
totally. And basically it's the financial piece. That's what it is for me. I would be moved out if it wasn't for the financial piece. Believe me.
What are your skill sets presently? Don't just tell me the health coaching. Tell me all of your skill sets right now.
Um, Basically it's all come down to healing. I don't know. I don't know what else to say.
Okay, what are your skill sets, your usable skill sets right now? Any of them? I know that you can speak because you are sound very intelligent. So tell me what all of your skill sets are right now.
Well,
All of the
I
things about you that could make money.
okay, I can write. I've been learning social media and I've been learning business to learn how to promote myself and to get on the forefront of whatever developing business stuff is going on because I like to be on the forefront of everything. Um, well, I've thought about doing like voice work a little bit. Um, like reading books, um, that kind of thing, or whatever.
Like what?
Um,
Like voice work?
yeah.
Okay, let me hear your speaking voice.
Here's my speaking voice. I'm not really in myself right now, and like I'm not settled in my energy, and I've got a lot of phlegm right now, so I don't know that you get a good idea of that.
Okay, but so you have voice skills, you're trying to develop business skills, you're trying to do a number of things.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you want to do apart? Well, let's say healing is what you want to do. So what does that look like to you right now?
Yeah, well, part of it is I want to get a good environment physically around me, and then I want to have my online presence expand and deepen and get more, you know, evolved or whatever. And I know I need like a network or a community. I need to develop more friends and community support, people that I can, you know, be
When's the
friends
last
with.
time you had a When's the last time you had a plain old regular job?
Um, it must have been back in Boulder, so about 9 years ago.
And what was that job?
Um, well, I did a bunch of work, a bunch of different work, and the last thing that I was doing was working for different of my friends, different friends. I did, I
What
did, I did some stuff with medical marijuana. Um, I did kind of, I was bad at it, but I did admin for a seed company. I did telemarketing, which I really was bad at.
So you're essentially saying nothing in 9 years.
Yeah, basically, I came here.
How have you survived 9 years?
Yeah, well, it cost me very little to be here on the property, and I've minimized expenses, and I've
And
prioritized, you know,
thus
the
why you're at where you're at. I
totally.
really think you're going to have to hunker down and get jobs, multiple. Okay. Now, I went and did the research. So, apparently, in the last 2 years in the United States, they've required you to make it a 4 year degree.
Okay.
When it used to be, you could go and get a straight 2 year degree right
Uh-huh.
away. But in Canada, you can make it a full 2 year degree. You don't need to do any of the pre training, you go right into it. Okay.
Yeah, I was jealous of Sean, whoever.
Yeah. Also, there is a school in North Carolina and a couple on the East Coast that are separate. They're not in the national schooling system that do traditional Chinese methods, traditional Chinese acupuncture, but they teach a Korean version of acupuncture, which just means there's more points to deal with. It's a different version
Well,
than Chinese. And that school is linked with Korea. You could also, believe it or not, go to Korea and get your degree, or Japan and get your degree in acupuncture as a foreign student. And you
yeah,
might be
and
able to get grants that get you to go.
yeah, and I've considered that and stuff. But here's another aspect of things. I'm also dealing with my health and basically Lyme disease, and so my endurance and what have you need to be rebuilt, and I gotta figure out how to, get more
Yeah.
stabilized in that.
Were you actually literally diagnosed with Lyme's disease?
I wasn't, but I had the bullseye rash.
It doesn't matter. You actually need to be diagnosed with it because most Lyme's disease isn't Lyme's disease at all. I'm willing to bet the vast majority of it is your mother just sucking the life force out of you.
Hmm.
Seriously, full on
Agreed.
vampire.
Agreed.
Okay,
Okay,
but in Sedona, when I was away from her, I had the same problem.
And
you were still open to her energy. You never cut off the energy conduits that connect you.
hi there.
Okay.
I
Okay.
would like to get across there. In Sedona, while you were fasting and doing martial arts with the boyfriend, you had the same energy problem. Oh, like what was me?
Oh,
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, to be expected.
okay. Where I'm at now with the personality that is you, and the energy that is you, you have more energy than you can admit to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You are so limited on that property
Yeah,
that there is a set of rules you can never exceed.
totally.
Okay.
Yep.
And I know you're supposed to start school in September, but that's just your prep work to get in. The 2 years of work you got to do to get into acupuncture college, right?
Yeah. And I
Okay.
do want to go to the acupuncture college in LA, Emperor's College, because I researched it a lot. And I love the North Carolina school with the Jeffrey Yuan stuff, because
Yeah.
like all of his students, I love their stuff. So I know I like that, but I don't need to go to school there to get
Why?
that training. I can buy the advanced training later.
Yeah, you're doing this all wrong though. You're
Okay.
coming at it without the full you, literally the full you, separated from your mother, trying to make decisions that are going to affect the next 5 years of your life. David, do you
Okay.
agree? You agree,
The
David?
Yeah, I'm here. Hold on one sec. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that the young lady, the thing that you are trying to do once again, this is like peeing with the condom on, and he
Yep.
is right, right? Because you are not. y- 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 What I sense in you is a trepidation of striking out on your own, right?
Yeah,
You have
because I
not.
don't have the financial piece.
I know. Just wait 1 second. Let me give you my story. Okay.
Go for it.
So, the financial piece, when you are determined to do something, is non-existent. And I tell you this, in the best way, because you can get jobs doing anything. I don't care if it's waitressing to make money. Okay. What I would suggest that you do, because this is what I did, um, earlier on, right? I want to tell you that in my adult life, my parents never paid for my education. Okay, I always won scholarships and grants, and I did what I had to do. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna go on the U.S. government website, and you're gonna
No, I'm already there, David. I already did the government stuff. I'm already applying for scholarships.
wait. Let me finish. Let me
Okay.
finish.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Let me finish. You're gonna need money. Okay, which means that you're going to have to develop one skill set or two skill sets that are extremely marketable, whether you like them or not, because sometimes you got to do grimy things that you don't like, energetically or otherwise, to get where you want to go, right? There's some of what I'm hearing is a comfort with where you are. If you are honest with yourself, you will realize that you're on a property where you don't have to spend a lot of money, you're getting fed and so on, and that engenders a kind of comfort. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So
I
you haven't
recognize that.
so you haven't reached that point of desperation where I just need to get out,
Um,
because you need to get to that point to do what you need to do to get out of the situation you need to get in. Let me ask you a question. You and your mother discussed you leaving and going and doing striking out on your own? Have you even
I think that would be the death of any plans. I have to not tell her what I'm doing at all,
why is that?
because
That's
it's always the death of whatever I try to do if I
how
tell her.
how does she kill it?
Energetically, I don't know.
Okay. Micro analyze it for me.
Okay, so if we talk about it in homeopathic terms, there's an androgynous energy, which is scorpion energy, which is very, very destructive. It's like, you know, that story with the scorpion crossing the river on the back of whatever, and then the scorpion says, yeah, I won't sting you, and then it just does sting the person that's carrying it, you know, or thing carrying it across the river, because that's just in its nature. It's like that's the energy that she has, and she just kills things. I don't know how
No.
she does it, but it just
That is
Okay,
the
happens.
so
le-
what you
that
just
is the leg
described. Go
that's
ahead.
the legendary myth you've created about her.
Okay.
So because you don't haven't experienced the real separation of her energies, you're actually missing out on a much bigger perspective. It's what David's trying to dial into you, and having an understanding of the myth you created in your mother. Talking about it, you absolutely should, so that you
Andrew.
Hello.
work on it.
And go ahead.
Say it again. You broke up.
Hiding it is the little girl in you trying to make sure your mom doesn't steal it from you, and she starts an acupuncture school.
Yeah, exactly.
I think you are in a trap. I
Okay,
think
let me put this in too, though. So, like, I knew what I was in growing up, right? And so, like, before the 9 years that I spent here with her, I spent 8 years in Colorado. And basically, a big part of that, my going to Colorado, was to get away from, my beginning, and find out who I am, and be somebody other than both what she knew and what, all the people, like, in my church and everything, knew as well. So it's not like I haven't ever been without my mother. But after my dad died in 2012, then she almost died a couple times, and I felt bad for her. So I came back and tried to help her. Um, she's been my greatest teacher, and I learned, even more from her when I came back. I got my confidence with homeopathy, and other skills. And now I'm ready to go on. I'm ready to leave that all behind me.
okay. You're ready to leave that all behind you. So are you really ready to leave that all behind you? Are you willing to do what you need to do to leave that all behind you?
Yes.
Okay. So what Andrew is saying to you is that you are going to have to hunker down, focus, get some jobs, accumulate money, right? Whether online or whatever you need to do. And what I am saying to you is that you're going to isolate and find two skill sets that are highly marketable that you can put out there into the public space, get whatever money you can slowly, and get out of Dodge. Okay. I don't
Totally.
care. And I would suggest you do mini separations before you get out of Dodge. So as soon as you get some money, that just take a weekend away. No
Yeah.
boyfriend, no fasting, no fasting. Right? No boyfriend, no fasting. Right? Take a weekend away. If you have friends that are not S SRF, if you have friends that are not SRF, go spend do a night over by them. Start that separation process because you're going to have to wean yourself off of the drain. Here is the thing that happens. People don't get it. When somebody puts a hook in you, a bisymmetrical relationship develops. It can develop. I'll explain to you what I mean by that. If I put a hook in you and I'm draining blood from you, okay, Tamari?
Yep. Go ahead.
Like literally, I stuck a syringe and I put an IV in your arm and I'm sucking blood from you. When the needle goes in, you are uncomfortable. Okay?
Yep.
You start to get tired because not as much blood is in your system. After a while, it becomes the new normal. Okay?
Yep.
Taking that needle out is going to be uncomfortable. You feel me, my sister?
Yes.
So my suggestion to you is that you start weaning yourself off of that energy because it's bisymmetrical. She's tapping your energy and you are used to getting tapped.
Yes.
So you're
I'm
gonna have to
totally
wean
trained.
yourself
I
off.
realize that. And in fact, when I'm around her, I just give it up automatically without her even trying, because I know that's,
So you're
that's
her
what,
blood doll.
yeah. Yeah. Basically. And
Yeah.
I know I need to get away. I was just thinking to myself, gosh, I could really use 2 months away. But here's a question for going forward. Like, I'm starting to get, like, kind of an idea that maybe the SRF thing isn't that great. At least not right now. But see, like, when one of the only friends that I have is kind of in SRF, and I was thinking that that would be maybe a good mutually beneficial relationship there to help both of us, because he's had a similar thing with his mom. So I'm kind of like, that is one avenue, like one friend that I have that's local, that I could move forward, but
Okay,
I'm
is
kind
he
of
a friend
unclear
or
about.
is he a friend or potentially more than a friend?
Well, we kind of talked about the more than a friend, and that's not gonna fly. Like basically, um, I really wanted to explore relationship like just before I went to Sedona, and I was like, okay, you want to do this with me? And he was like, nah. And so I went off and did the Sedona thing, and now I'm kind of like, I wonder if he's thinking about it now. But for me, it's a no there.
Okay, but
So
he said no first.
right, yeah.
Okay.
So even if he were
So
to say yes now, I would still say no.
okay.
Interesting. Why is that?
I want to move forward, and I don't feel like he's the one. I'm really looking for the one.
What does the one look like for you?
Yeah, exactly.
um,
Who's your Prince Charming?
somebody mutually beneficial.
Oh,
That we can talk and work through problems together.
Hmm. That
okay.
doesn't exist.
Okay, let me ask you a question. There's no white horse in the picture, right?
Hopefully not. Hopefully I'm financially independent and I have my own life before that
So,
happens.
no,
Because I don't want to go into it like that, all uneven.
the question was, who is your Prince Charming? What does he look like? What is he like?
Um, I don't know.
Ooh. Oh, you don't know? Okay. Well, clearly he's not a guy who fasts. So let's
Uh,
let's try that. I'm not going to let that go. No, I'm not. Okay, so let's try this again. Right now, Tamari, I'm going to be very honest with you. You are a little bit confused. You have a mother hook inside the middle of your body. Okay,
on the
umbilical
front or
cord.
the back? The front?
You have a mother hook in the middle of your body. The umbilical cord is still there, except it's operating in reverse now.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
Like, give me back the energy I gave you for 9 months.
Yeah,
Right? So
exactly.
it's operating in reverse now. And I think that part of you weaning yourself off of that would require you, and I say it again, I'm going to repeat the same thing. You're going to wean yourself off of that stuff. That
Yeah,
is not to help
gotcha.
you. Because you are aging prematurely. I am 100% certain of that.
I was
You pick that
thinking
up,
if
right?
I didn't change, she would kill me. Absolutely.
Well, it's
Or
not
the
Lyme.
energy exchange would kill me rather.
Yeah, I don't think you have Lyme disease. I think you have something else.
Yeah, a
It could
vampire.
be. It could be. It could be just that.
So you're gonna do what you need to do?
Yeah.
Are you
So
sure?
can we talk about going forward now? I think you guys have given me answers about the past.
That's
Hmm.
all of everything we've said to you is about moving forward.
Okay.
You
Okay, well
got to
then good. I have
disconnect
all my
first.
answers. What?
Everything about you moving forward is disconnecting. If you
Yeah.
move forward without disconnecting, you will be back on that property, or you'll never leave.
Which is not what I want. And that's why I'm
Okay.
doing the college.
I'm going to put my 72 and a half cents here that until you've disconnected, college is not going to have the same meaning to you that the person that's here today to the person that's disconnected.
Interesting.
Vastly different intelligence in you is going to come through when you're disconnected.
Yeah, okay.
Well, it's just okay. A good 75% of your genius is fully suppressed.
Nice.
Can I make a suggestion right
Thank
here on
you
this
for that
show?
feedback.
Can I
Go
make a
ahead.
suggestion?
Go ahead.
And Tamari, we have the show next week and we have the show week after and so on. We want an update. So let's create an action plan right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're gonna call back on the show. Yeah, you are. Yes, you are. Please don't have us track you down.
Okay.
Right? So you're gonna call back on the show. Here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna isolate. This is your homework for the next couple of weeks.
Okay.
Your homework is to isolate 2 skills that are marketable that will bring you money.
Does it have to be other than health coaching or can I do that?
I really don't care.
Okay.
Right? I
Okay.
don't care. Right? You're gonna isolate 2 skills that you're good at that you can absolutely concentrate on. that is marketable, that will bring you money. That is your first step. First step, find the skills, and then next step, you call in. We're gonna put you through the paces because
roast me again.
you're not gonna stay at the same place that you are. Oh no,
Awesome.
no.
Okay, great. Sounds good. Let's do it.
All right, Don, thanks for calling in. We got to move to the next caller. We look forward to you calling back in.
Thank
also,
you so
go
much.
back and listen to everything that we talked about, and take a little extra notice of how you respond to some of the questions we say. And there's an energy in your voice that if you let some of your greater vision on, you'll realize things about yourself.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
All right, Don. Thanks a lot for calling in.
Bye-bye.
Great caller, David, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was.
Yeah. All right, Joe, let's spin up the wheel of callers and see who is next.
All right, we got Teresa in. Let's give it another shot. Are you
Teresa,
there?
are you there?
Yes.
How you doing today? Are you there? I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
All right. Yes.
You're still breaking up really bad. I still can't hear you. All right, well, Joel, let's move on to the next caller.
All right, Adrian, you're on the air with Andrew Bartzis and David Ellis.
Adrian, are you there? Hi,
Hello,
where are you
do
calling
hear
from?
me?
Yes, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from France.
Welcome to the show. What do you want to talk about today?
If what you can feel about me about making more money for but my business, I make more opportunity to book some events. So I'm a magician, and I have 25 years of experience. I'm very good at what I do, but maybe commercially, or I don't know what block, but I think I could do better.
We've talked before, haven't we?
Yeah, we've talked before, yeah.
So the last time we talked, what were you able to do with some of the stuff we talked about?
I don't really remember what we talked about. I know it was supporting me energetically, and since then it has gone better and better, and it has expanded. It has expanded.
Okay. So are you having challenging booking
Do you hear me?
gigs now? Are you having a challenge booking gigs
I have
now?
no sound. Hello?
You said you have none?
Hello.
Are you having challenging finding?
Sound at all.
Are you having challenging finding jobs now?
Might be a problem of connection. I don't hear anything.
All right. Can you hear me now? Hello?
Can you hear me?
No, his connection's starting to fade.
Oh, that's sad. Can't hear anything.
All right. Can you hear me now? All right, we'll come back to you. Joel, let's bring on the next caller. We'll come back to him once we figure out the next caller. I can't hear you, Joel.
Joel, either. Okay, Joel has left the chat, so let's talk a little bit, Andrew, about because the main thing that is an issue here with a lot of people is the ability to generate money and ability to escape certain situations that they're in.
Yeah.
We want you guys to understand that this is a worldwide thing, okay? We all experience it. One of the things that you don't do is let the fact that you cannot generate money at that particular point in time, because everything is for a time, infest you in such a way that you can't see any way out of it. I'm going to give you guys a life lesson right now. In any situation that you find yourself in any hole that you find yourself in, there are at least 3 or 4 solutions that you are not seeing that you can see if you just relax and put your mind to it. That is the truth.
David, since our very first caller on our very first show, this theme has come through, hasn't it?
Yes, it has.
Yeah, and it has remained for the last 7 years.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing that really you guys need to pay attention to, right? A lot of the callers, and we've been doing this for a while. Okay, Andrew and I, like I can't even remember what the first podcast is. We've been doing it. We've been doing this for a while, and I'm saying to you guys, a lot of the stuff that comes on is because people pigeonhole themselves into one idea. There are at least 3 or 4 solutions that are in front of you that you're not considering. Okay, so as an example, I'm going to use, you may have your heart set on being a fireman, but you may be a really good person at making ladders for the firemen. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Make the ladders until you can put yourself through whatever fireman school that there is. A lot of people pigeonhole themselves. So that's the first issue that a lot of people have. The second issue that a lot of people have is the brain fog that comes with despair. You despair and you don't think in terms of, how can I get out of this hole? Okay? And you're talking to a guy, and just so before the next caller comes on to the air, you're talking to a guy that has a lot of different options, right? And you want to know why? Because I'm going to tell you something. I was that kind of guy who had a singular focus when I was very young. It took me I won a scholarship to go to a university. And they withheld the money for my scholarship at that university. So I was literally without food for the first time in my entire life. And I was not asking my parents. You want to know what that did for me? And Andrew, you've been to these kinds of places before as well.
Yep.
You want to know what that did for me? It made me understand that I have to think laterally. I have to think of more than one way to make money and never be only pigeonholed into one thing. Guys, so there's that issue. The second thing it did for me is made me understand that sometimes there is a despair and a panic that comes when you're down to your last $5 or your last $10 or whatever the case may be. And people just somehow accept their fate.
Yep.
We have too many stories around of people who have had no money and they decided, you know what? Screw this shit. I have nothing to lose. I'm going to become a clown. And then all of a sudden they're a millionaire clown or something. I don't know. Okay?
Yep.
This is the kind of stuff that happens. Let me tell you something about us. Andrew used to DJ. Andrew, tell them that.
Yeah. Full on DJ. I was a limo driver at the same time. I had multiple jobs. I worked my butt off. Okay. At the times I had 3 jobs. Okay. Why? I was determined. Okay. I had a work ethic.
Correct.
That's something else that a lot of people don't have, is they never had enough jobs to maintain a real work ethic, or their work ethic was lacking from the very beginning. Okay. And then another thing is, a lot of people don't want to do the work to get the education. They just want to get it and win it and at the end and be successful. Anything you start, whether it's a job or your own business, you got to put your blood, sweat, and tears in it. So many people aren't going to sacrifice themselves for somebody else's job.
And sometimes you have skills that you don't know. You know, everybody talks about past lives. Everybody talks about, you know, their innate skills and so on. But none of them want to actually, let me tell you something. I came into this realm with artistic skills. My very first job was painting designs on t-shirts to make money. Okay? I was 16 at the time. Okay? painting designs on t-shirts, fabric paint on t-shirts to make money. And I made a lot of money doing that stuff. Okay. Now, is that a skill that I would have wanted? Oh, I have an idea about my life or how I want to be. Like, I could have comfortably stayed there as a clothing designer or whatever else. Let me tell you something. And this was at 16 years old. Guys, everybody talks about past lives. Do you know that you came in with skills? Did you know that? For those of you who think you'll have no skills, y'all came in with skills. Some of y'all are secret marketers. Some of y'all are secret human resource people. Some of y'all are secret painters, artists, musicians, but y'all never tried.
Right. And then there's try and then quit immediately versus try and try again until you get those little victories and successes, which then turns over the dynamo of inner creation. Okay. Now, something else we run into a lot is failure to launch. They've got skills, they've done the practice, but they just can't get the business going because they put so much of their personality into being a healer to this or to that, and they never paid attention to the business side of the job.
Yeah.
How many people, David, have we run into with websites from 2012 that have never been touched or have no website whatsoever?
Actually, Andrew, I have a kind of a solution for that, and I'm going to say this to y'all. You see what I just did with Tamari?
Yep.
Give yourself a certain amount of time to execute the next step. Next step. What's the next step? What's the next step? People hear us on the show, Andrew, and they think they don't see the back end of what it is that we do and how you got there, how I got here, and so on. They don't see the back end of the stuff. We had to next step each other a lot of the times. Okay?
That's right. That's right.
Let me tell you something. This is why Andrew and I are friends. Because he got on my ass and told me, leave where you're living, and left the place. Okay? There have been times we've gotten on each other's ass, and this is another thing. Having friends is a good thing because they're going to tell you, yo, get your shit together. Right?
Yeah.
Right? And I am happiest when it is that, you have people that will tell you, move or get your shit together and stuff like that. So that is another thing that you absolutely need in your life. Okay?
Yeah.
And that's why we're doing it for you guys. And that's why I just did it for Tamari. Next step, Tamari, if you're still listening to this broadcast, you have 2 weeks. Isolate those skills. We're going to work on them and you're going to move forward because you're not staying the same place. And this is something that is a perpetual thing. It's not going to be just a one-off thing. Throughout your life, you're going to have to next step it.
Yep.
You're going to have to.
So, David, one of the other things we run into, somebody who can never get over their own traumas and believes they've been doing inner work their whole life, but actually hasn't been doing it at all. That's a big one, isn't it, for a lot of people we run into?
Okay. Andrew's saying this, and I'm laughing internally and laughing externally, and I'll tell you why that is. Because you see, Andrew and I have run into a lot of people who have grandiose titles, Egyptologist, to name a few, shaman, Nyabingi priest, right?
Mm-hmm.
They have grandiose titles. But when it comes to actual execution of doing things to move from point A to point B, I see Nicole Frolic is in the chat. Shout out to Nicole. You are doing things. Oh, I see you, my sister. You're out there.
Nicole, come into the caller. Let's talk to you.
Right? And I see, and I'm actually in a discussion with Amy Kruzik if she's on the line. Amy has shocked all of us because she's doing things. She's out there and she has broken past a whole bunch of casts. Doing these things is hard. You need to move. You need to move on. You need to move forward, right? And sometimes the demons in your head are going to tell you, yeah, stay comfortable.
Yeah. Now back to those people who have they think they're processing, they think they're doing all this inner child work, and then we just ask them a handful of questions, and really they're what they're doing has been faking it to make it, pretending to do it, or saying they do it, but in fact they've only take minor baby steps, and their inner belief that it's been giant leaps that they've taken with these tiny baby steps. And then we give them simple tasks like holding yourself accountable, not letting the impulses of the inner aspects take over. We do dyads with them, and all of a sudden the reality of their subconscious comes forward. They're not in charge of themselves and have never been in charge of themselves. And yet they have these grandiose dreams to do things, but will go nowhere because life is at the point where if they do not deal with those issues, they can go no further. They can grow no more.
Yeah. I think for a lot of people, when they say I am working on myself, turns I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Did I just scrape across your nerves there, Andrew? Right. When they say that I'm working on myself, it is a superficial kind of experience where working on yourself could be anything from, oh, today I am actually going to get some exercise done, or I'm going to try to get a job, as an example. Okay. When we say working on yourself, it is an inside out approach, not an outside in approach. Like, oh, I walked to the edge of the driveway today. See, I'm being social. That is not what we're talking about. It really isn't.
Mm-hmm.
What we're talking about is an inside out approach where you say, I have had enough of being a hermit underneath the basement of my mother's floorboards long enough, and I am done with this stuff here. I am going to get out. I am going to do what I need to do to get there. How many of y'all have that going on? The hermitage life. The path of the sannyas.
In the years that I have done this call-in show, and then the time when David's come in, we've had some very, very special callers. People that are put together right, and the type of advice that we've been able to give them, we're talking next level stuff. And I'll give give one of the examples. David, you remember the caller that called from the bathtub?
Oh, yes. How could I
Okay.
forget?
So yes, that was our very first caller in a bathtub. Okay. And she's put her life back together, put the teachings, listened to everything that's said, got dealt with her emotional issues, her family issues, has moved up, got a job, got a better job, and moved herself away from all the crazy that was happening to her. And now she's beginning to thrive. And it
Correct.
started with a call from a bathtub. Okay? That woman put herself up by her bootstraps and did the work, and it paid itself off over and over again.
Correct.
Okay?
She actually
So,
inspired me. She actually inspired me to get into a bathtub.
yeah, and then you did a show live from the tub. And since then, we've had at least 4 callers who have been in a bathtub calling into us.
Yeah, I love the swishing of the water, you know. For those of you who are in the chat, you don't have to come online. You don't have to come into the broadcast. If you want to come into the broadcast with us and talk to us, you can absolutely do so. For those of you in the chat, just drop us what your situation is, and we can troubleshoot your situation from there. We're observing the chat right now.
All right, we've got some callers in the room. Let's let's bring on Jordan. Can you hear us?
Yeah, Jordan, are you there? Jordan. Jordan, are you there? Unmute yourself. Jordan. I can feel him screwing with his phone and it's not working for him.
All right.
Hello. Okay. Try another one.
Well, let's give Adrian another spin. Adrian, can you hear us?
Adrian, are you there? Hello. Yeah, we're just having all sorts of issues. It must be all those billions of computers that are bricked in the background.
Yep, CrowdStrike.
Yep, CrowdStrike struck again. Let's try one more caller.
All right. 1 second here. Let's see. Jordan, can you hear us?
Jordan, are you there?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Where are you calling from?
Oh, I'm calling.
Where are you calling from? And he's gone.
CrowdStrike.
CrowdStrike. David, what did you think of the CrowdStrike outage?
Oh, that was fun. I know how bad this sounds, but I am actually amused by all of this that is happening, all the chaos.
I take it you weren't using CrowdStrike.
No, no. But let me tell you, this was interesting to see how fragile our infrastructure is. And more chaos to come.
Yeah, a lot more chaos to come. All right, with all this technical stuff, let's call it an end to the show. It's Dave, you want to give a way for people to get a hold of you?
Yes, you guys can reach me at info@unifiedhealthsystems.com. I do DNA testing and hair tissue mineral analysis. For those of you who are still guessing what's good for you in terms of diet, fitness, exercise, and substances and toxins, and you want to stop guessing about your health, definitely contact me. I could send you a DNA test kit. It will tell you exactly what you want to know about what is toxic for you and what is not toxic for you, physically speaking, mentally speaking, and otherwise. Apart from that, a lot of you are walking around with deficiencies, especially if you are fasting. I told you I wasn't going to let that go. Like you know I was going to let that go, right? Right.
Yeah.
Especially a lot of you maybe were walking around with deficiencies, and so we offer hair tissue mineral analysis. We offer it internationally. So for those of you who are interested in that, let me know at info@unifiedhealthsystems.com or contact Amy Think Moon Lodge podcast at gmail.com.
Okay. And you guys can go to my website, andrewbartzis.com, find out about all of our amazing things that we're going on. We have a special price thing going on right now. Join our mentorship that begins in August. And if you get the mentorship and the event package together, you'll save $500. Come and join the community of people that are doing the mentorship and the live event. We will be back tomorrow for our live game stream, and we will be bringing back Galactic News Network, where we'll be covering Season 1 of The Apocalypse, Episode 3 continued.
I love it. I love it. Thank you. This
And
has
we
been
will be
wonderful.
Yes, and we will be playing our World of Warcraft after our Galactic News Network. Come and join us live